How did you do this?
All good. I just went ahead and bought one of the cheapest KTMs I could find online, and I'm gonna fix everything that was wrong with it. Or at least try and fix everything that's wrong with it. You might have seen a recent Yanamaz video I did where I bought and fixed a 350Z, or 350Z, whatever you wanna call it. Well, after all the positive reception on that video, I thought I'd carry on the trend and go ahead and attempt to do the same thing with something a bit smaller, a motorbike. Specifically, a KTM RC 125 that I found on Facebook Marketplace for a shiny price of 900 buffs. That's right. Apparently it would only go up to 15 miles an hour and then it'd lose power, and that'd mean that we'd need a van or a trailer to get it back. So me and the boys went out to inspect it. I spotted a few problems with the bike that weren't in the listing, but we'll get to that later. And so for that reason, I had to bump my price down a bit to 800 buffs. And we had a deal. And now we had to transport the thing, and we might have got the measurements wrong.
That took pure strength and dedication.
And getting it out when we got back was even more fun because it basically dropped out the van and almost crushed me to death. I wheeled it up into my car park and kind of just sat there and looked at it and realized this thing looked pretty damn cool. But it definitely had its issues. Anyways, let's check out this thing and see what's up with it. Okay, so panels are off. There, leaning up against the R3. It's looking a bit crazy. Radiator's right there. And as you can see, that doesn't look too good. And also, I do think it's leaking coolant. That is absolutely impaled there. I don't know what's happened. And also, like I said, totally broken off top side and bottom side. So here, that's the mounting point. That is got some Bluetooth connection going on there because that is wireless as fuck. The mounts are on a mad thing, bro. Look at this. Crazy. So this thing is just like floating basically. The coolant pipes are what's keeping it on, which is insane. Usually when you open the coolant cap, it would normally start draining out, but as the coolant levels were so low, it obviously wasn't gonna do that. Another indication that the radiator was probably leaking and it was a bit fucked. Doubt this would have anything to do with the power issue that it's having though, because this kind of just cools it down, and if it's broken, it'll just start overheating. But this needs to be replaced regardless. Also, the side of the engine is looking a bit oily, which isn't great. All the oil's kind of collected down in this bottom fairing here from the left side, which I'm gonna go over to now. Got all these connectors here. I'll probably reroute them back to where they came from and see what those are all about. For now, man has no fucking idea what those are. Also, another great thing I spotted, engine mounts missing a screw. So, this might have been out before, which again is not a great sign. Means there's definitely something going on in the engine. Oh, hello. What is this? That's just chilling there. Nice. But also you can have a better look at this gasket. Like, this is just, look at this. It's peeling off of my hands, man. Yeah, this shit ain't good, dog. All that oil just leaks down into here. It's created like a little river Nile, which is cool. Look at this. Well, that's the gasket right there. Great, man. Good vibes. One thing I have realized is that under this seat, there were a couple spare screws, which is never really a good sign, is it? But we had these two, and they look like the screws that are, you know, supposed to hold the fucking engine in. It screws in fine on this side, but on the other side, it doesn't quite line up, which is not good. Furthermore, we got something back here. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It just screws and screws missing. And so, we are in heaven, boys. This is it. It all led up to this point. You're probably thinking, what is going on? Well, let me explain to you what just happened. At this point in the video, I crashed. You could say it was a bit of a tumble. I snapped my arm, which is great. And so for the rest of the video, you're gonna see a broke up arm, basically. I had to get my friends in to help me a bit because obviously working with one arm is a bit techie. And I'll explain to you guys what happened in the video coming soon. So yeah. Enjoy broken-armed Bray, basically. Anyways, it was time to start working on this thing. I ordered a new radiator, so it was time to take the old one out. I drained all of its old coolant, disconnected the pipes, and cut the sorry-ass zip ties that were holding this thing on. Smacked a brand new second-hand radiator in it, and now it was time to flush it. We filled it up with distilled water and ran the bike until the fans turned on, and then began emptying it. Oops.
You created a vacuum.
Did I? Oh.
Magic. I think there's condensation in the oil pan though.
That's great. It means there's more horsepower. And then we needed to fill it with brand new raspberry looking flavor coolant. It's not actually raspberry flavor. Don't ever try drinking this Halford's coolant, please. Terms and conditions do apply on that one. Don't do it. Oh shit. Wait, I need to, okay.
What are you doing, bro?
I need to look at this.
Don't do that to me, bro.
What happened?
You scared the shit.
It's fine, man.
Something wrong.
When doing this, we needed to make sure that the bike was level to avoid any trapped air getting stuck on the other side of the radiator. This is why a bleeder valve is located on the other side of the radiator. It allows trapped air to basically escape. As soon as there's no bubbles coming out the bleeder, you're usually good to go. Oh, there's green coolant coming out, though.
I thought we were supposed to have solved that issue.
By no means is this a tutorial, by the way. I definitely advise you watch a more in-depth video on how to do this properly if you're gonna try replace your coolant liquid in your radiator.
Stop.
Now it's time to run it to circulate the coolant and check that the temperatures were staying within the normal bike's limits, which it did. We left it for about half an hour running on idle and it just seemed pretty good. It didn't overheat or anything, it just stayed at a good cool temperature. So, mission success. Well, kind of. The radiator still didn't have proper mounting, so we're gonna need to try to sort that out. But for now, let's check out what's going on with this oil leak on the left side of the bike. This cover is for the alternator, along with some other components, so it's important that it didn't leak oil because no oil means no function. Metal on metal rubbing in the engine can cause all sorts of damage, so it was essential that everything stayed lubricated.
Did we miss a screw? Are we retarded? Oh.
Shut up, bro.
Oh, there's something. Oh.
I think somebody applied the gasket in the form of a putty kind of material, so they just made a mess of the job, hence why the gasket is basically disintegrated away. The question is, how was everything behind the casing? So we've taken it off, and by the looks of it, I think it's okay. There's a screw missing there, which is ideal. Lots of cogs for things that I don't know what they do. I know that's like, yeah, the alternator, the electric generation unit thing. But this looks okay. So I ordered a new gasket and a couple days later we got back to work. This time with my other boy Sev, and let's just say he had his own interesting way of opening the cover.
Should just wiggle it. This will attach.
So here we have the brand new gaskets. What's going on there? Very nice. Just like this, done. So now we're gonna pop it on, that's it. I can't figure it out, yes. Yeah. Sev put a little bit of oil to make the gasket stick loosely to the cover, and then he carefully smacked it back together, and voila. We had a functional gasket that wasn't gonna do up dookie all over the floor. Starting this up since the gasket change, battery died. Irony is this was powering that battery, but now that is powering this battery. So yeah, man, let's see if it works. What does that mean, bro? Okay, it's kind of revving up and stuff, but nothing leaking. Yeah, coolant seems cool. No more oil coming out. Fascinating. Yesterday, me and Sev tried jump starting it with a car, and I think I did it the wrong way around and I blew a fuse. So we've just taken an extra fuse and put it in there for now. I still can't test whether the power output is kind of, you know, gone. I wouldn't think that would fix it. That's just gonna help improve it, but I don't think a gasket change and that is gonna fix it. So theoretically it could be working right now, full power, but I assume it ain't. So let's just wait to test it and see what goes on. And surprise, surprise, we still had a power issue. But whilst we tried to figure that out, it was time to sort out the radiator mounts. We need to take out this little rubber mount here, and that is the screw behind it, the bolt, should I say. This is in a very tight spot. We're gonna try to use some spanners to try to get it out. Let's see if it works. I have 50-50 kind of hope. Can't lie, in hindsight, it would have just made sense to fill the radiator after mounting it. I'd tend to do things back to front, but yeah, it is what it is. Because now I had to empty it to make space to put in the rubber mounts. That's a plus 1000 IQ move right there. I managed to saw a lot of this metal off and make it into a shape where I can fit this on it. So we're gonna kind of counter it and see if it comes off. Ah, it's coming loose. Basically just cut this up a lot and put a wrench around this. It being cut in half, when the wrench was on it, it kind of fit on, so it stopped it from turning, and we undid it. Obviously these are the old radiator mounts, and these are the new ones. We need new screws. I don't have screws that are like 1 mil long. That's so small. So I bought these 30 mil screws. Basically, I'm just cutting these down so they fit into these. And I mean, that's one of them. in there so far, so it's worked. So we're just gonna cut basically 3 more of these, put 3 more of these in there, and then radiator's mounted. Basically, that's the radiator mount. This is the screw. Screws goes in there. And a new radiator mount. Very nice. Now we need one here, and then we take off the other one on the other side. Long thing. Anyways, with that done, it is time to do a compression test. This test would basically allow us to determine whether there was any leaks in the engine, and like it says in the name, allows us to check if the engine has compression. If there was any leaks, then the compression would be low in the engine. You get a lower reading, and that would indicate a leak. In order to do this, I needed to strip off everything on top of the engine, that being some fairings, the battery, ECU, and the fuel tank. But I can't lie, the fuel tank was moving a bit booky. For how long is this? Oh, there we go. Tank's off. Yo. No, it's not. And now we've got access to the tap of the engine. I'm gonna try to pull this spark plug out. Come on, you little shoes out. So I brought out my very special spark plug tool. It's like one of these attached to that. So it's very long, and I don't have any other tools to really take this out. So better work, because if it don't, I ain't got no other option. It's coming loose all right. Not very smoothly though, but it's coming. That there is a mad thing. That is not how you want a spark plug looking. God damn. Look at that, bruv. Crusty in the Ross. There was a lot of carbon deposits on the spark plug, which really wasn't a good sign. I also had a top view of the cylinder, but it was hard to see what was going on down there without a boroscope. So that's why you got this zoomed in clip. So now we're gonna try to test the compression with this compression kit. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna get a reading on here, look on Google, see if it's correct. If it's not, this engine is a bun up. But yeah, we need to plug this in here, and hopefully it will screw in nice and easy without complication. This is good. Solid, mate. I'll also admit, I can't be asked to put the battery in. I'm just gonna hook up these wires from that bike to this bike to the wires here. I think this should work. Whoop. 1. She's on. Question is, what is this gonna say when I pump it on? Compression test commencing in 3. Hey, don't fall now. 3, 2, 1. I think that's good. 150. Yeah, I don't want to do too much more because it's going to flood the engine. Okay. So we have compression. So that's a good thing, I think. So the engine had compression, but the spark plug was black. Just more clues as to what could be wrong. This could be many things, but still didn't provide a solid answer as to what was causing power issues. Was the engine running too rich, too lean? Was there a fueling issue? Has a gasket gone bust? I don't exactly know yet, but if you do have any suggestions as to what you think it could be, please do let me know in the comments down below. And in the next episode, we might be taking out the whole engine to inspect it further. So subscribe and stay tuned. And I've been Rayski. Bless up.